I love playing my video game console. Honestly, it's a great thing that I have it. You know, it's able to run a video game. You know, I can grab any video game I want, and it can run at a decent frame rate. And heck, I can experience the same game over and over and over. Yeah, this is boring as fuck. I'm already bored with this game. I wish there was a way that I could make these games that I have more fun and replayable. Oh my god! Is that the Lord and Savior? It's...
That is right, my child. It is I, the PC!
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing a game, kind of. But before we do, video game. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Honestly, it was a pretty fun game. When it comes to the anime fighters, honestly, Dragon Ball games are honestly the first that come to mind, at least for me. With the last Dragon Ball fighting game being Budokai Tenkaichi 3, releasing 20 years ago, most of the Dragon Ball community, or anyone who's a fan of these games, honestly realized that it was time for another sequel. And 20 years later, we finally got one in the form of Sparking Zero. The game was sort of a reboot to the Tenkaichi series, as this shit did not play like the original. Or maybe it does, I don't know, I kinda never played it, aside from like that one game on PS2, which I emulated. But I can say that Sparking Zero is the prime example of anime fighters looking almost similar to like the anime itself. I mean, you gotta admit, this is like as close we're gonna get to seeing like an anime be similar to the show, at least. But you know, after all the built up hype and stuff, the game finally released, and honestly it kind of followed the same path as Fighters. You know, a new Dragon Ball fighting game comes out featuring, new graphics that almost look similar to the anime, and then coming out to tons of people. People are hyped for it, they get it, and then after that, the player base kind of dwindles, and you've only got like a certain amount of people that are still playing it. But honestly, that's kind of just the determined fate of most fighting games. You know, with like a few people still hanging around, those either being like, veteran champs who go to EVO and stuff, or people who just make mods for the game, which is the subject of today's video. For today's video, we're taking a look at Dragon Ball Sparking Zero mods. We're going to be covering mods from the beginning parts of the timeline of the modding scene all the way up till now. Overall, it's kind of different from what we do with our normal reviews, but I think it's fine. I mean, we literally did mobile games like literally 2 days ago and a movie. So, yeah. But without further ado, let's take a look at Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Just watch and see what I'll achieve with all these possibilities. You break me down, I rise again. Our battle will not be the end. I will surpass my limit break. This tournament will be a piece of cake. I cannot lose, I'm bulletproof. Can you show me all that you can do? It's unbelievably super. I'll go beyond all that super. 'Cause this is Dragon Ball Super. And even Zeno will be blown away.
For a majority of mod makers, their goals are usually following one of three things. 1, making cool and wacky funny shit. 2, improving certain aspects of a game to make it much more better and maybe even exceed what the original game was going for. Or 3, making their own passion project by making a full-on mod that basically overhauls the entire game and changes up the mechanics entirely and make it look much more better than it wasn't the original product was. And then there's probably 100 other reasons, including one where you go seek help. But when it comes to communities like Dragon Ball and Kingdom Hearts, you have people in those communities waiting for the next series in the game, and Bandai and Square Enix, let them take their sweet ass time with making a new game. So you have these members of the community going around making mods for the games that already exist, and trying to get more enjoyment out of the games they already have. So when it comes to the modding timeline for Sparking Zero, at the beginning, the modding scene mainly just started off with skin mods. Basically mods that replace certain characters' models with a different skin. It doesn't really change up any of their movesets or anything like that. Nothing like we have nowadays with the modding scene. Just a simple character swap. Like this one, where we can change Vegeta's cell shading and give him more of a style that's similar to Sparking Zero. Alright, let's just load up the game here, and... that's not right. For some reason, Vegeta just now has no textures except for his eyes. I don't know why. For some reason, I think if you have a normal mind, it would remind you of that episode where, you know, he got covered in squid ink, but for some reason, I just thought he was doing something a little... Okay, but as for some real skins, alright, let's start it off. You know, we got this mod here, which replaces Kale with Nimona from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Alright, I mean, not the first idea I had, but honestly, it's pretty unique. And surprisingly, the model swap is honestly alright. And then let's tag her up, going up against Link, replacing Tapion, which honestly looks pretty cool. It actually looks like he kind of fits in with the show. Of course, when it comes to Nimona, the skin only applies to Kale's first form and not her Super Saiyan form. But overall, I mean, these are pretty cool skin mods, and these were kind of like the first ones we saw on the starting grounds of the modding scene. So honestly, pretty cool. Alright, what else do we have to look forward to? Oh geez, here we go. So yeah, this mod just replaces Great Ape Vegeta with Donkey Kong. You know, I guess we should also mention, you know, since we're talking about the Great Ape, is that also the skins also apply to the story mode. So if I just, you know, enter in story mode, go to the Great Ape fight. Yep, alright, there he is.
Since when were we dealing with a 100-foot-tall monster?
I don't know, Yajirobe. I mean, you tell me. He's finally here, performing for you. Oh shit! So here we have One Piece Sparking Zero, a skin pack in which replaces most of the skins with One Piece characters. And it's honestly a pretty unique mod, honestly. Hell, the developer even created a whole video based on it. And overall, I mean, it plays alright and honestly works well. You have a lot of characters basically replacing the others, like, you know, you got Luffy replacing Baby's mod's character slot, Tapion being replaced by Zoro, Dispo being replaced by Sanji. You get the idea. But overall, I mean, it's a pretty unique mod. I mean, you got most of the Straw Hats here, and Glep from Smiling Friends for some reason. And we even got some of the villains joining in. We got Luffy's grandpa, you know, who's a Marine, if you watch One Piece. We also have Rob Lucci, looking like he... Jesus, that smile. We even have Kaido, who...
You really are annoying. Just go away.
Yeah, that's Kaido. But overall, I mean, if you want to basically include One Piece and Dragon Ball in the same media, yeah. There's even also, the mod also replaces some of the mod, or I guess the music files with One Piece tracks. And yeah, that's pretty cute. Overall, it's a pretty unique skin mod. But I think it's time we move up a level. Now, another part of the modding scene I do want to talk about is the stage design and music selection. I'm going to group them both because they're really small. Two mods I want to bring up are the Music Manager mod, where basically it's sort of a way to basically add your own tracks and stuff, or at least for the community to add, you know, custom tracks and put them into Sparking Zero, of course. And it does take a little bit of modifying, but it's not that hard, unlike the JSON files. So honestly, you can include tracks at the moment like Metal Gear Rising.
You better take this one seriously! Now for the fun part!
And as for the stage expander, honestly, what it does is basically just, as the name suggests, give more stages to choose from. And, you know, it honestly kind of sucks that, like, base Sparking Zero doesn't even have that many unique stages. I mean, sure, we got the World Tournament, the Tournament of Power, the Rocky Lands from that one part that Vegeta and Goku fought in. Heck, we don't even have the Lookout Tower, you know, an iconic place. I mean, heck, even Xenoverse has it as a stage. And heck, modders were able to easily implement it back into the game. So honestly, it kind of is a little bit embarrassing that, you know, the devs could have at least updated the game to include more stages. But hey, at least that's what the modders are for. Alright, we've talked about skin mods, music mods, and stage mods. Now it's time we talk about character mods. Ever since the Nimbus mod loader came out, the floodgates have kind of just been open for the Sparking Zero modding scene, as we have now mods that actually add new characters to the character selection screen instead of replacing them, like with the skin mods. So we got cool mods like this, where we can finally give Vegeta Ultra Ego, and we can have Black Frieza show up finally. And hey, did you felt disappointed when you figured out that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution are more so just temporary transformations that Goku and Vegeta can use? Well, heck, with this mod, or I guess these two mods, whatever your lingo is, you can now have them in the game as well. Of course, Goku's Kaioken mod is honestly pretty unique, as you can actually choose between the 3 stages of Kaioken that he used in the anime. The normal Kaioken times 10 and times 20, each having their own unique art style looking just like how they were in the show. It's honestly so unique to see this kind of stuff show up now, especially with the new mod loader. And hey, would you look at that, there's Sonic. You know, honestly, I remember during the early parts of the modding scene, I remember seeing this one Game Banana discussion board where someone was talking about hosting a bounty where basically someone can add Sonic and Shadow into Sparking Zero. And I guess it's good to see now that that bounty finally got followed up. I don't know how bounties work in Game Banana, don't question me please. Anyways, in this mod, using a Sonic model that looks alright. I mean, I do remember the early stages of this mod. Sonic did not look great, and surprisingly, the guy who made the mod, half his attacks couldn't land. But hey, it's good to see that this mod's finally been caught up and is actually using a better model. It even uses extra models like Movie Sonic. Plus, he's got access to multiple transformations, like we have Super Sonic, of course, Dark Sonic from Sonic X, Super Saiyan God, Hedgehog, yeah, and Hypersonic. So honestly, it's pretty cool. Plus, there's even more models, or I guess more mods, including the other characters, of course, like Silver, Shadow, and the other ones. I just wanted to include this one because, you know, I think it's a good representation to show, like, what's possible here. The guy making this mod does say that he plans to add on voice dialogue, so good luck for that. Although, to be fair, when it comes to most of these, like, mods, the voice dialogue don't even expect it to work. I mean, sometimes it'll get a Hail Mary and it actually does work, and other times you just get jarbled up code. Alright, now we cover more mods that are kind of more interesting and have a little more polish to them, like made by this guy, the idiot Lennon, who has made, or is working on a sort of series of mod packs called the Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So, I mean, if you ever heard of Super Dragon Ball Heroes, I mean, who hasn't, if you weren't, you know, growing up in like the 2010s, seeing the weird animated intro with that catchy song that changes like once every few months. That's what this guy's doing, pretty much. Anyways, for his first volume, we have the Time Patrol bundle, which features Xeno Trunks and Xeno Gohan and a Xeno Pan. Now, for Trunks and Gohan, they're honestly pretty well developed, and they look like straight out of, like, you know, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes promotion. Trunks can, of course, turn Super Saiyan 3, and Super Saiyan God, featuring that weird sword that he used to cut that one demon guy. I have no idea what that show's about, Jesus Christ. Why can't that show be Xenoverse 3? Come on, Bandai. And as for Gohan, he can turn Super Saiyan 1, 2, featuring a cool little father-daughter Kamehameha. He also turns Super Saiyan 3, and turns Ultimate. But he can also turn Super Saiyan 4 alongside powering up to Limit Breaker, which is sort of a more Kaioken type base move. You know, the effect only lasts a few seconds, but honestly, it's so cool and so well designed, it honestly feels like an official product. As for Pan, she can just fire Kamehameha, but with more cinematic appeal. Yeah, that's it. As for the second volume of his Super Dragon Ball Heroes pack, or whatever you want to call it, this one features the Warriors in Black from the Tournament Universes saga. I don't know, the one featuring the robed Gokus and Piccolos and shit. Anyways, for this pack we have Gohan, or I guess future Gohan, being able to turn Super Saiyan 1 and 2, but also being able to use the Dark Dragon Ball enhancements. Basically those weird, the Dark Dragon Balls that evil Dende made. But it also features a cool stat boost, which honestly looks pretty cool, and the aura looks awesome. We also have a warrior in black Bardock, and yeah, no, he's pretty cool as well. He can turn Super Saiyan 3, take off the entire robe, and then Super Saiyan 4. And Jesus Christ, look at those stat boosts. And as I'm recording this right now, he also has released a third pack featuring called the Xeno Fusion Bundle. It features Goten, or Xeno Goten, and features fusions like Xeno Gotenks and Xeno Gohanks. That's a stupid name. He's also made a few other mods featuring, you know, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes theme, like featuring Crimson Mask Saiyan, which is just Goku Black, but he can go up to 3 now, and a few others featuring, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Broly, Limit Breaker, and, you know, Xeno Goku and Vegeta. So honestly, Lennon's honestly made a lot of cool mods, and here's to hoping that he makes more cool mods like this. More power to you, Lennon. Since I brought up Kingdom Hearts, I might as well bring this up as well. This is the KH Pack, which, as the name suggests, adds Kingdom Hearts characters to Sparking Zero. Originally, this was a skin mod, but now the creator has turned it into more of a new slots character mod. As for our playable characters, we got Sora, KH3 Sora, Riku, Roxas, Mickey for some reason. And as for some of our villains, we have Xemnas, Young Xehanort, Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, Marluxia, and Vanitas. And exclusive to the mod itself, we even have a cool little fusion between Young Xehanort and Vanitas called Zanitas? Yeah? Let's go with that. He's got an RGB colored suit now, so, you know, that obviously means he is more powerful. But overall, I mean, it's alright, but it's just kind of just the same stuff, you know. Characters with the same moves as, like, the characters they were based off of. Like, you know, we got Sora, he's based off of most of the Trunks models. And yeah, I mean, he's got a cool Keyblade thing with his 3-form and Ultimate. It's alright. I mean, hell, going back to the music mod, you can also add in music packs from Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5, which the same guy who made this pack also made that music pack as well. So, heck, if you want to add some music tracks to Kingdom Hearts, go for it. Or, I mean, music tracks to Dragon Ball. Go for it. Overall, it's a neat one, but I mean, I will admit, it is a little bit boring, but heck, hey, man, more power to you, and here's to hoping you add more characters to this pack. Gotta admit, the idea of adding Kingdom Hearts to Dragon Ball is something that I honestly wouldn't expect to see. But, hey, crossovers are inevitable for this kind of stuff when it comes to modding, so anything's possible. Why am I outside again? Jesus Christ, it's bright.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm. You were given more leeway than most, and yet I find this planet unprepared for...
Oh no.
Oh. So, yeah, this mod is just... Or I guess Koopa Mods basically aims to add Invincible to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. In the form of costume. You got Gohan here with new outfits, basically based off Invincible. And we got Nappa getting a costume based off Conquest. Heck, we can go further on. We can even go further. We can give Z Broly Thrag's outfit. We can give Goku and Vegeta the Viltrumites outfits. And we can give Adele the Adam Eve outfit and Goten Kid Hero. I don't know the names. I haven't watched the show in a while. And honestly, these are pretty well developed. I mean, heck, even for Gohan's Mark skin, he's got like 3 outfits based off his first suit, his blue suit, and the Sinister version of him from the Multiverse War. I really need to watch Invincible, Jesus. Overall, it's a pretty neat idea and a cool idea to show off that you can even add your own costumes as mods to the game as well. doesn't have to be just character mod. And to wrap it all up, I'll be showing off 3 mods that I think honestly are pretty unique. Or I guess one mod, because the other 2 are just going back to anime. I already brought up One Piece Sparking Zero, that mod with the skin packs, but this time we got both a mod that gives us Monkey D. Luffy and his brother, Porcus D. Ace, as actual characters with their own movesets. Or recycled ones, I don't know. There's like a lot of characters in this game that have their own custom, unique ultimate attacks that sometimes I think like, holy shit, this mod developer add their own custom move. In reality, oh no, it's actually something in the vanilla game. So if it is, yeah, I won't know if it is or not. But overall, I mean, the product presentation here for these mods, it's pretty cool. I mean, you can turn into Gear 5th with Luffy, and you could use Ace's giant ass fireball thing from that one time in the anime. Pretty unique. But a new one that I want to also bring up is the Jotaro Kujo mod. As the name suggests, yeah, it basically adds Jotaro from part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. And honestly, this is the most unique mod out there, as it's fully like developed well, and you can even like bring out like JoJo's stand. It honestly feels very custom made. It honestly looks awesome. It really feels like it's part of like an official DLC pack, as if the devs went crazy and announced a JoJo DLC. I mean, Star Platinum looks alright for the most part, but overall, I mean, the presentation's fine. You got JoJo being able to use Aura and the Star Finger, and heck, he even has his own custom ultimate, which honestly is pretty unique from all the other mods, which actually, like, you know, he stops time and basically just pummels the guy up. He even has his own windscreen animation, which honestly is pretty unique. I mean, I know the Kingdom Hearts one has a few custom windscreens, but it's a little bit rough and choppy. But for this one, it's honestly pretty awesome. It's even got his own, like it's a whole ass JoJo reference.
I am not alone. I could use an extra hand, yes. The world! 時は動き出す Goodbye.
Of course, the mod also comes with the ability to swap between JoJo's manga outfit and his anime outfit, and of course his Part 4 outfit. So overall, this mod is pretty awesome, I gotta say. And plus, it honestly takes a while to actually get used to, because hell, his ultimate only like works if you're within the 5-meter range of Star Platinum, just like in the anime. Or was it meters or feet? I don't know. It's a cool mod. But yeah, that was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero mods. Overall, I mean, I feel like we took a look at a few good, notable ones to take a look at. You know, stuff from the manga, other characters showing up. Honestly, it was a pretty good bunch. There were more mods and skins that I wanted to show off, but for some reason, like, they revolve around using different types of like modding engines, like DBZ Color. And I'm not more so familiar with that kind of stuff, as they do require like stuff to like, you basically have to like edit the code and stuff, and you can only go so far with that kind of stuff. And some of the other mods, like I think there was one for like a Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I wanted to show that off, but for some reason like that mod just doesn't work no matter how many times I load it in. Like I stripped every mod off just to try and see if that one will even load once. It did not even work. So yeah, another thing to worry about mods is like, you know, sometimes mods just don't mix well together, so yeah. But overall, I mean, we took a look at a good few notable ones, and here's to hoping that the community advances further with the modding scene for Sparking Zero. And heck, maybe in the future we'll see, I don't know, cool stuff like OCs, I don't know, custom voice lines, something cool. And hey, maybe this is a little bit selfish to ask, but if someone in the Sparking Zero community could make, you know, DANIELIEZER OC in Sparking Zero, that'd be cool. I'm asking for too much, aren't I? Alright, I'm gonna end the video.